Kia ora folks, Ross the Bushman here. Well, it's official folks. I know you cannot see what's on this piece of paper, but this is a copy of my resignation form. It's official folks. I officially resigned and it feels incredibly liberating. Now, I've given 5 months resignation notice and there's reasons for that. So folks, stay tuned. We're going to do a little update video, and apologies I have not been around, but it's in regards to this. Araroa. 3,000 plus kilometers of insanity and fun. So stay tuned folks, I'm just going to have a cuppa here and I'll catch you in very shortly. Now folks, let's say hypothetically, you want to do a long distance trail. You're thinking about doing a long distance trail for a while and you don't know what to tell your boss. Well, I'm going to give you guys some quick tips on what you guys can do, okay? And this is what worked for me. It worked incredibly well. I have a really good relationship with my manager, okay? It's more like not like a bromance, but it's a good bro relationship, you know, because just a fun fact, my manager, okay, is like us folk, like us backcountry recreationalists, you know. He's like a tramper, a trekker. He's a bushman, you know, a bushman like me. He understands why I want to do this, okay? And here's some quick tips I can give you. Now, first of all, try to establish good relations with your manager before, or your department manager or the owner or whoever you have to resign to from leaving your job, okay? Try to establish good relationships before you leave your job and before you announce your resignation, okay? Secondly, give them your resignation notice. A handwritten one's fine. This one, at my current job, it's all pre-filled. You just got to fill in certain things, okay? And you give them that buffer zone. Have a talk with them. Have a conversation with them. Have that kōrero, that yarn. Talk to them about it. And try to make them understand from your point of view that it's not the job's fault you're leaving. It's something that you might need to do. Now, you might have your own reasons for, say, doing a long distance trail like the Araroa Trail or the Appalachian Trail, Tohoku Trail, Hokkaido Trail. I can go on about the list of trails. PCT, CDT, AZT, the coast to coast here in New Zealand, coast to coast in England, wherever you are, you might want to give reasons why. Now, the reasons I told my manager, okay, is because I wanted to make a documentary and I wanted to do something that's about trampers. It's for trampers, okay? Project Distant Shores, if you don't know folks, is a film I am making about the New Zealand bush, the tramper, what this like, how the cameras are seeing me right now, their perspective, their perception, their concepts about life, their history, their laughter, their emotions, everything. Wilderness porn. All backcountry folks out there in the world, wherever you may are, you may understand this in some way, shape or form. Wilderness porn. You'll get my drift on what I'm saying. Now, some wilderness folks do understand it, some are still trying to understand it. For me, to try to explain wilderness porn is, it's basically raw beauty. Raw beauty in every single moment captured. That is wilderness porn to me. To other people out there in the world, wilderness porn is something different. Okay, folks? So, number one, have a good relationship with your manager. Number two, have a good conversation with them well and truly beforehand when you hand in something like this, your resignation form. Okay, folks? Number three, tell them your personal reasons and be really personal about it. Tell them why. They might understand. They might try to tautoko, support what you're about and why you're doing it. Okay, folks? So, those are 3 quick tips. Now, I'm going to give you some more tips that may help. The reasons why you want to talk to your manager and tell everyone at the same time. Tell your manager, tell your boss, whoever is in charge of you, okay, at your job, okay, you tell them Reasons why. And the reasons why is because I think it may be good for you as A, you can get that support, that moral support. B, you can get some sort of sponsorship. C, you will have contacts. It's all about networks, folks, okay? And from what I've been hearing about Te Araroa last season, 2017-2018, the reason why some folks left the trail is because they didn't really have enough contacts, okay? They were spending too much money on the hostels and all of that stuff. And this can happen anywhere on any trail. The Appalachian Trail, Te Araroa Trail, Coast to Coast Trail, AZT, PCT, CDT, Tohoku, Hokkaido, the Siberian Trans Trail, the Great Western Loop, wherever it is. This can happen with any trail. It's because they don't have a support network. They don't have contacts. And like us Māori people, okay, folks, Māori people love networking. It's what we love. We love networking with different types of people because it's like that Kiwi saying. It's a good hookup. You know, it's all about the hookups, you know. Hook everything up. And that's what it's about. Connecting. You got that support network. Those people can see you for what you are and why you're doing your long distance trail, long distance trail walking. Okay? So maybe in that concept you guys might understand it's a good reason why to tell them exactly from a personal level. You know, have a good relationship or relationship with your boss, your manager, whoever's in charge with you, and tell them the reasons why you're leaving. It's not the job's fault. It's because it may be something you need to do. You might want to do it to experience more in life, yada yada yada. Okay? Now, another bonus tip. You want to give them enough time to process it in. So you do, see here in New Zealand, the minimum requirement is 2 weeks. I've given between 16 to 18 weeks. I've left it a floating date because my floating start date is what it is. It's a floating date. It's not set in time because I'm basing my start date on the weather. I'm looking to grab the last of the rain, the great wet season, for those folks not from New Zealand. I have a lot of subscribers and viewers that are not from New Zealand. Okay, so basically the great wet. What that means is it's winter. It's winter here in the North Island. It's like in Australia you got the big wet, same here. Winter, it is cold, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot of rain. I'm hoping to catch the last of that and the mid to late spring rain up in the North Island. For those folks that don't know, Te Araroa Trail, what this guidebook is about, and no, I'm not going to carry this book, okay? I've got the trail notes, they update it every year. I'll be on top of that level, okay folks? So, they update it every year, these trail notes. I'm basing it off that, and I'm trying to catch the late weather because it starts from Cape Reinga, okay? It's quite warm up there, okay? Down to Auckland, so that's about, give or take 4 to 5 weeks, okay, roughly, give or take. I want to catch the last of the wet weather up north. So when I'm passing through the Waikato, going into Whanganui, or Wanganui, as people say it, Wanganui, it's Whanganui to me because I'm Tainui Māori, that's how we say it, Whanganui. So through Whanganui, going through Manawatu, Horowhenua, down through the Tararuas, the Great Trampers Paradise itself, and it is, folks, it's a beautiful place. Go through Trampers Paradise into Wellington. I hope to do that within 2 to 3 months per island, okay? So I want to catch, going into summer or late summer, going into South Island, okay, folks? So that's the reasons why I gave my manager a lot of time, because I wanted him to process it. I wanted him to take everything in. And he had a lot of questions. We had a 2.5 hour to 3 hour conversation. It was a long conversation, and no, it wasn't working the day I told him at all. I just popped in and said, "Oh, bro, got something to talk to you about." You know, we had a kōrero, I had a cup of tea, and he had a cup of tea, and we just had a good 2.5 hour, 3 hour yarn, as we usually do. But, as I said, you want to give them time because it lets them know that you're showing good faith. Everything's about good faith, so as I said, example, 2 weeks here in New Zealand is usually the minimum requirements. I gave him 16 to 17 weeks. Now, another positive bonus tip I'm going to give you is the reasons why you might want to tell them so early is because they might want to give you contacts. They might want to give you, as Kiwis call it, hookups. And that's what it's all about, hookups. Because, you know, us long distance trampers, through hikers, long trampers, thorough trampers, whatever you want to call them in whatever country you're in, okay folks? You need that support network regardless. For instance, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this by myself, not for myself, for other trampers, because I want them to experience wilderness porn, folks, okay? You know, that wilderness porn that backcountry recreationalists can understand. And I'm sorry if I'm slightly speaking French here, to say the least, but, you know, that's just how Kiwis are, you know. We're quite rough about things. There's no reason why to beat around the bush, okay? No point whatsoever. So I talked to him, told him our conversation. What he's going to do is talk to his lovely wife. They're going to give me some hookups and places of people that live all along the trail. And he had a look about the different locations, okay? So here's some of the maps and some of the trail notes, some of the distances and locations. He said, I've got to make here, I've got to make here. So that might be another reason. They might want to support you doing it. They might want to give you some sort of contacts or, oh, you know, I have a friend here. You could stay there for a night. Just give them a ring. Tell them Michael Huha or, you know, Robbie McGee sent you, and they will give you a meeting hookup. And that's what it's about, folks. Hookups. And that's what we need as long-distance trampers. We need as much support, not just from our family and friends, but from other people. And he totally supported that idea. So folks, if you're thinking about resigning to do your long-distance tramp like me, here's some great tips. I'm hoping this is going to help you a ton. And thank you folks for watching. Blessed trails, ka kite anō, and I'm going to update everyone on what's happening here at Rosta's Bushcraft. As you can see, I've gone quite lean. And no, I'm not flexing my muscles, that's just naturally. For those folks that have been on my channel since the beginning, I've lost a ton of weight just for this. But more updates on that later. So as I said, blessed trails, ka kite anō. See you next time, and make sure you get out there and have fun on the trails.